all across the nation, people from Liberty Tax Service are waving.
From the looks of their commercials, you'd think it was impossible to find an unsatisfied customer at Liberty Tax Services.
Liberty got me a loan fast, and they made it fun.
But talk to some customers of their branches here in the Detroit area, and you'll hear stories that probably won't be appearing in Liberty's commercials anytime soon, like Chris Franklin and his mom, Alberta, both first-time customers last February at the store on Gratiot where they came to file their taxes.
So they took our information.
For the last 5 years, Chris has taken care of his mom and a young nephew who he listed as dependents when he met with a Liberty tax preparer. But he says after he submitted his paperwork to Liberty,
they took the information off my taxes and filed a separate return with my dependents.
Documents we've obtained confirm it. Take a look. Here, Chris lists his mother and nephew as his 2 dependents. But when the information was entered into Liberty's computer, Chris went from 2 dependents to just 1. And his mother, Alberta, she was mysteriously taken off her son's return. Someone listed her in a separate filing as a head of household, making almost $34,000 last year, which was news to Alberta.
I wasn't working for the last 5 years.
And that's not all. According to internal company records, someone changed Alberta's address too. She wasn't listed at their house on Lenox Street, where she spent the last 5 years. No, according to Liberty Tax Services, she lived 3 miles away at 11729 College Street, which is supposed to be right about here in between these 2 houses. As you can see, no such address exists. Months later, Chris and his mom say they're still waiting for their federal refund, totaling almost $6,000. They've since filed this police report alleging Liberty stole Alberta's identity. And then there's Felicia and Winona Bryant, sisters who live together in subsidized housing in Detroit. In 2009, Felicia says she got a call telling her that her taxes had been filed with Liberty. But there was just one problem.
I did not even go to Liberty.
That's right. While Felicia had gone to Liberty in 2008 to have her taxes prepared, she had not been back since. So when she learned her taxes for the next year had been submitted, she was shocked and called Liberty, where a clerk told her,
"They filed taxes on you, stating that your sister was making so much money." And I'm like, wait a minute. We don't have anything living over here.
Felicia's sister, seen here on the right, was not listed as her dependent as she should have been. Instead, Winona Bryant, who suffers from a neurological disorder that renders her mental capacity to that of a 5-year-old, was listed as a head of household with 2 dependents of her own. So who were they?
I don't know. She's never had children. We're the only 2 that live here.
To this day, the Bryants say they've never received their refund. But did someone else? Internal company records show that at least some of their refunds were deposited on approved cash cards like this one. But the Bryant sisters say the money never came to them.
They changed my return.
And there are still more clients with more of the same kinds of stories. Even a former employee has come forward filing complaints with the IRS. The store owner says she was fired, but what she alleges matches closely with what customers have been telling us, that 2 Liberty employees stole clients' refunds, opened bank accounts in clients' names, and claimed improper dependents.
Are you taking people's tax refunds?
No. With undercover cameras rolling, I went to visit Liberty's offices to speak with the employees accused by customers and others of committing fraud, like Kenyatta Smith. According to the Secretary of State, she lives at this home on Edwin Street in Hamtramck. It just so happens to be the same address listed for several of Liberty's customers.
So how come so many people have the same address as you?
Maybe they don't have a valid address and I let them use mine.
Is that legal?
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It's a violation of company standards at best, and if it was done without the taxpayer's permission, the IRS tells us it's fraud. Daisha Davis is the manager of some Liberty tax offices here in Detroit. When I approached her, she said she's earned awards for her customer service, not complaints.
So what do you make of customers alleging that you're stealing their refunds?
I want to know who they are.
The IRS would not confirm for us the status of the refunds or where they might have gone because it would have violated federal law to tell us. Meanwhile, the owner of the 5 Liberty Tax Services franchises in the Detroit area says as a result of our report, he's launching his own internal investigation into just what's going on inside his stores. I'm Heather Catallo, Channel 7 Action News.